Is up, Ladder Climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Way Report in NextGenHikes.com. And it is Thursday, December the 4th, 2025 at 7 a.m. Central. And we are live on the Daily Climb. Yesterday morning at 8:15 a.m. while we were chopping it up on this show, while some of you were sleeping, a report dropped that changed everything. Economists expected America to add 40,000 new jobs in November. We lost 32,000. That's a 72,000 swing from what they expected. I want you guys to type 72K in the chat if that number shocks you. The worst single month drop in 2.5 years since March 2023. But here's where it gets dark. Small businesses, companies with fewer than 50 employees, they lost 120,000 jobs in 1 month. I want you guys to type 120K if you can't believe that number either. And economists, they have a new term for this. The start to the fire market. Not low hire, low fire anymore. The start to fire, if you want to know what that means. Okay? The start to fire. That's what they are calling it. And while that bomb was dropping on yesterday, ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he went to Harvard on Monday and had a little chat with some of the class of 2026 and said something that should terrify every worker in America. He said AI isn't overhyped. It's underhyped, he said. Underhyped? That's interesting because many people are saying AI is in a bubble. The ex-Google CEO is saying it is underhyped. And then you got Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, was caught hand delivering soup to engineers that he's trying to steal from OpenAI, offering $100 million signing bonuses to build the AI that replaces your job. So in today's show, I'm showing you 72,000, the swing, the small business bloodbath, the start to the fire market, while ex-Google CEO says AI is underhyped. Why Zuckerberg is also hand delivering soup while offering $100 million signing bonuses. In a company that's giving $173,000 cars to their employees every single year, while never doing layoffs. By the end of this show, you guys will understand exactly what's happening. While small businesses are shedding 120,000 jobs in a month, while tech insiders say the real automation hasn't even started yet. And which side of the divide that you need to be on. Guys, this is the Daily Climb. Thursday, December the 4th. The shock, the divide, the winners, and your choice. Let's climb today. Before we climb, let's see who's all in the house. We got Big Subs in the house. We got the Life of Cam in the house. Good to see you guys. We got Crypto Cakes Cartel in the house. Good to see you. Listen more, talk less. Good to see you. Mr. Governor's in the house. Good to see you as well. EGT Network is in the house. Good to see you guys. It's going to be a fantastic show today, guys. Stay with me on segment 1, okay? It's Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. And I need to tell you about what happened on yesterday morning while we were chatting it up on this show. At 8:15, while I was talking and delivering the information to you all yesterday, ADP, the payroll company, they released their national employment report. And this is just a report that tells how many private sector jobs were created or lost the month before. Every economist in America was expecting a gain of 40,000 jobs. The report came out 8:15. And it said minus 32,000. So we lost 32,000 jobs. That's a 72,000 point swing from expectations. Okay? This is the worst monthly drop in private payrolls since March 2023. 2.5 years ago. And here's what's even more concerning. Private employers have now cut jobs in 4 of the last 6 months. This isn't a one-time thing. This is now becoming a pattern. What did we say? One time thing. 2 times, 2-time thing. 3 times, starting to become a pattern. 4 times, it is a pattern. This is a pattern. Let me break it down for you guys. Here are the numbers. Small businesses. That's companies with fewer than 50 employees. They lost 120,000 jobs in November alone. I want you guys to listen to what Bloomberg had to say on this, and then I will share what CNBC had to say about small businesses. Check this out.
Right now, ADP employment data just crossing, and it is not a positive read on the U.S. economy. It was expected to come in with 10,000 jobs being created. Right now, we're seeing a decline of 32,000 jobs. Last week was revised upwards, so we saw 47,000 jobs created versus the 42,000 initially reported. This is the ADP employment change, and this doesn't always cohere with what we see from non-farm payrolls. However, in the absence of non-farm payrolls and in the consistency of this series, this has increasing weight. Enda Curran joins us now of Bloomberg. Enda, what do you see from these numbers?
Well, at face value, Lisa, as you're saying, it's clearly a negative read on the labour market, coming in much weaker than expected. Economists had expected maybe around a plus 10,000 jobs, but it actually came in, as you say, negative 30-odd thousand, and weakness by the looks of it across the board, jobs being lost in goods and services. Now, this does lean into what the kind of other sentiment or survey indicators have been telling us, that the labour market is softening, that we're moving from low hiring, low firing to something else. Of course, we've had headlines from big branded name companies, the likes of Verizon and Apple, cutting staff or announcing layoffs over recent.
You heard what he said. From low hire to low fire to something else. There's a new term for it, guys. There's a new term for it. What did I call it before? Let me know what you guys heard me say in the chat, the new term, what it is. Okay? Let me know if you picked up on what I said earlier on what it's called. It's the fire more market. Fire more. That's what it's called. We're no longer in the low hire, low fire. We're in a fire more. Verizon, HP, all those individuals announced large job cuts this month. Okay? The start to fire market is the new term for it. Let's let him finish.
Weeks. So in the context, as you explained, where we don't have the official data from the BLS, there's a lot of weight being put on this ADP set of numbers. It's the last read we'll have really on the jobs market before next week's Fed meeting. And as I say, at face value, this suggests that the employment market continues to soften at the very least.
Yeah, and what we're seeing.
The employment market is starting to soften at the very least. No, it is already softened. It's terrible for the typical person. It's absolutely terrible. Now, medium businesses, companies with 50 to 49 employees, okay, 499, excuse me, they gain 51,000 jobs. Large businesses, 500 employees or more, they gain 39,000 jobs. Do you guys see the pattern here? Do you see the pattern? Small, you're getting crushed. Large, you're gaining. Okay? If you work for a small company, type small in the chat. If you work for a large company, type large in the chat. You see where they fall at, right? Under 50 employees. Medium-sized business, 50 to 499. That's the category. Large businesses, 500 plus. Type it in the chat. By region, the numbers are just as bad. The Northeast lost 100,000 jobs. The South lost 43,000. Only the Midwest gained 45,000 jobs. In the West, gained 67,000. The fire market. That's what it's called. This is no longer a low hiring job market. It's the start to fire job market. And here's where it gets real. Heather Long, she's the chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. She said something yesterday that you need to hear. This is what she said. This is no longer a low hiring job market. It's a start to fire job market. Type start to fire in the chats if you want me to explain what that means. Type it in the chat. Let me break it down for you. For the last year, we've been calling this a low fire market. That meant companies were firing. They weren't hiring. Okay? They weren't firing very much, but they weren't hiring much at all. So things were what they call frozen. But now that's changed. Now companies are starting to fire. Heather Long said this: many smaller firms have been the hardest hit by tariffs in the uncertainty this year. She also said this: they are letting employees go to try to remain profitable. I want you guys to type profitable if you see what's happening. So your salary is becoming their profit. Think about it. That's what a business have to do. I mean, like, anybody who runs a YouTube channel and you're trying to remain profitable, you understand that if you have editors and everything else on your team, on your staff, and you're not able to invest your own personal dollars into the channel, and you're going off of, let's just say, ad revenue. Okay? Let's say you're doing about $10,000 a month in ad revenue, and your editors cost you about $3,000 a month. Right? Then you have, let's just say, your script writers. Then you have, software subscription fees. Then you have whatever else you have going on. You may not be profitable. And if you're not profitable, what are you going to start to do? You're going to start to cut something that's basically an expense so that you can remain profitable. This is exactly what small businesses are doing. Now, let me show you which sectors are losing the jobs. Professional and business services, they lost 26,000 jobs. Information sector, they lost 20,000 jobs. Manufacturing lost 18,000 jobs. Construction lost 9,000. Financial activities lost 9,000. The only sectors that gained jobs, leisure and hospitality plus 13,000, and healthcare. That's it. Heather Long said it best. If you don't want to work at a bar or in healthcare, you're out of luck. I want you guys to type bar or healthcare in the chat. Those are the only two places hiring right now. Now, Neela Richardson, she's the chief economist at ADP. She said this: hiring has been choppy of late as employers weather cautious consumers in an uncertain macroeconomic environment. Here she is right here. Check this out.
ADP chief economist, and you're not here to tell us what the stock market should do based on these numbers. You can just tell us that things have worsened in the last month.
Yeah, this is a small firm story. This is even more than a small firm story, Joe. This is a mom and pop story. Because if you look at where the losses came in, it was for firms with headcount under 50. And you take that and you extrapolate it to the industries, those are the same industries. Construction, for example, where there are a lot of small firms. And so when you think about what small firms are dealing with, if you put your mind into the space of a small firm owner, they're not going to raise their hand and say, we're cutting by 10%. They're just not going to replace that retired worker. They are just going to let attrition take care of this issue for them. They are going to have a hiring freeze. They may not hire a teenager or two in the bakery over the holiday season. They're going to make these small changes that add up to a lot because 44% of U.S. workers work in these mom and pop establishments.
What's ailing them?
42% of U.S. workers work in these small companies. That means companies under 50 employees. These are the ones that lost 120,000 jobs. She's saying that many of these individuals are getting fired. Many of these individuals aren't getting replaced. You got Joe, who's been working for a company for a very long time. Let's just say they do sheet metal. Okay? 5 to 10 employees that work for the company, been around for 20 years. Company probably has $1 million in revenue. Everybody takes home a decent salary. But Joe gets sick. Joe can't work because Joe got sick. The company has been losing money. The company's expenses has gone up because of tariffs. They can't get the metal imported from where they was getting it from. Let's just say it's coming from Canada. Let's just say it's coming from China. The cost has gone up. Now, big boss man has to make a decision. Joe, you're sick. You can't work. You're not bringing any money in. I don't know if I can bring you back, Joe. This is what's happening at the small business level, guys. 42% of Americans are working for companies under 50 employees. This is what's happening. Let's let her continue.
What is ailing them? What's the tariffs?
You used to be able to look at your consumer demand and your traffic and make the story. But if you're a small firm owner today, you have to think about your supplier. You have to think about the Supreme Court decision that will kind of pave the way for tariffs. You're going to have to think about all of these things instead of just your own foot traffic. And so what that means is that you may delay your decision making when it comes to hiring. You don't want to pass along those price increases to the consumer. And there's no evidence that we're seeing small firms do that in lockstep. What they're doing is they're absorbing it, they're taking a profit hit, and they may be delaying or curtailing hiring.
So how can bigger companies, they just have lawyers or something? How does it work?
They have more options. They can change suppliers. The fixed costs for small firms are variable costs for large firms. They can invest broadly. They can be price dictators when it comes to their suppliers. And you have to also understand where we are in terms of the inflation story. It's not just inflation growth. It is the cumulative effect of 24% increases in price levels in the last 5 years. So even modest inflation from here is on top of really high price increases over the last several years.
The affordability crisis wasn't helped by the 3% inflation that we've got over the last year. But the 21.5% prior to that accounts for a lot of it.
That was y'all buddy. That was y'all buddy in office that caused the 21% increase. That was your buddy. That was your buddy.
This is just like layering on another 3%.
Economists are happy with smaller inflation, lower inflation rates,
but
slower.
Prices are still up.
The price levels are still there.
Up 25%.
Right. That's right.
25% increase in prices over the last 4 years. Insane. Hiring has been choppy, she says, as of late. Employers weather cautious consumers in uncertain macroeconomic environment. Translations, companies are scared. Consumers aren't spending, and companies are cutting to survive. That's what's happening. Yesterday, 8:15, 72,000 swing. Small businesses, 120,000 jobs gone. Started to fire market begins. But Monday at Harvard, ex-Google CEO went on stage and said something that makes all of us, or all of this, worse and should make all of us concerned. In this next segment, We're going to talk about why AI is underhyped, according to Google's insiders. And I want you guys to stay with me on this segment, okay? It is Thursday, December the 4th. And now I'm going to show you why ex-Google CEO says AI is underhyped, not overhyped, like many people have been saying. Okay, so on Monday, December the 2nd, some days ago, I think that was the 2nd, right? Today is the 4th. I think Monday was the 1st, actually. But Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, he appeared at the John F. Kennedy Jr. Forum at Harvard University to talk to some professors and some students. He was being interviewed by Professor Graham Allison, and the topic was AI. Now, a lot of economists right now are saying that there is an AI bubble. You guys have heard it. They're saying AI is overhyped. All this money going into AI is overhyped. It's not going to pay off. Companies are spending too much money on something that won't pay off. You guys heard the story before. Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, he disagrees. He says this: if anything, it's underhyped because you are fundamentally automating businesses. I want you guys to type underhype in the chat if you understand what he's saying. He said this: the real transformation is happening deep inside companies where AI systems are beginning to take over. And it's starting to do the boring task. That quietly consume billions in corporate spending. This is what he says. Boring work. Eric Schmidt listed exactly what is being automated. I'm going to tell you. You guys want to know what's being automated? Billing, accounting, product design, delivery, inventory management. If you guys are in billing, type billing if your job involves any of these. Schmidt said this: there's an awful lot and there's extraordinary amount of cost that you can take out of the business with the automation. He pointed to areas like medicine, climate solutions engineering, as sectors where automation could accelerate breakthroughs. And then he said this: the reason people are spending this amount of money is to automate the boring parts of their business. When you guys type boring, if you do boring, repetitive work, type it in the chat. Because if you do boring, repetitive work, that's what's getting automated first. Now, Schmidt, he told a story at Harvard that you need to hear. He said this: he watched an AI system generate an entire software program from start to finish. And his reaction was, holy crap, the end of me. That's what he said. The former CEO of Google said this. He said, I've been doing programming for 55 years. To see something start and end in front of your own life is really profound. 55 years of experience replaced in minutes. But Schmidt said AI's impact extends far beyond coding. From back office workflows to logistics to scientific discovery, he believes the automation curve is still in its early stages of scaling. And here's the key part. He said Wall Street is underestimating the magnitude of the shift. Now, not everyone agrees with Smith, though. Some economists say AI is a classic bubble. Ruchir Sharma, a renowned economist, said this week that the surge of AI shows all four traits of a classic bubble. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, and Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, have both said parts of the market resemble the dot-com era. That's what they said. I want you guys to type .com if you remember that bubble bursting. But Schmidt, who helped steer Google's early AI investment, who co-authored a book on AI with Henry Kissinger, he says the economic impact will be far larger than markets or executives appreciate. And here's what's crazy. Small businesses, they lost 120,000 jobs in November. You heard about it and you found out about it on yesterday. Schmidt says the automation of boring work is just at the beginning. Type beginning in the chat if that terrifies you. Ex-Google CEO, Monday, AI is underhyped. The boring work automation is just beginning, he says. 55 years of programming, he says he's seen a program write itself. He said his 55 years gone in minutes. And here's the sick part. While companies automate your job, they're desperate for AI talent. Mark Zuckerberg is hand delivering soup, offering $100 million bonuses. This is what we're going to be talking about on the next segment. The divide that you need to understand. I want you guys to stay with me, okay? And now I'm showing you the great divide that's happening right now in the American workforce. We've talked about this before. There are two Americas right now in the job market. There's a side one. Small businesses lost 120,000 jobs in November. Eric Schmidt says boring work is being automated. Billing, accounting, delivery, inventory, all that stuff is being automated. It's the start to fire. The market has begun. I want you guys to type side one if that is your reality. Okay? And then there's side two. Okay? There's companies that are offering $100 million signing bonuses for AI talent. They are hand delivering soup to engineers. They are giving employees $173,000 cars. They are giving their employees free trips to the Bahamas. They are giving their employees courtside seats to a Milwaukee's Bucks game. I want you guys to type side two if that sounds like what you're in, or it sounds like a fantasy right now. Type it in the chat. Two different worlds. Let me tell you a story that came out this week. Mark Chin, he's the chief research officer at OpenAI, the company that made ChatGPT. He went on a podcast called Core Memory, and he told this story. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, personally hand-delivered homemade soup to an OpenAI employee to try to recruit them to Meta. I want you guys to type soup in the chat if that sounds insane. Type it in the chat. Mark Chin said this: it's been kind of interesting and fun to see it escalate over time. He said Zuck actually went and hand-delivered soup to people that he was trying to recruit from us. Chin said it was shocking to see at the time. But then Chin admitted this: I've also delivered soup to people we've been recruiting from Meta. I want you guys to type soup war in the chat. But it's not just soup, guys. In June of this year, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, said that Meta tried to lure some of its engineers with $100 million signing bonuses. I want you guys to type 100 million in the chat if you can't believe that number. Altman said this, that none of his top talent was poached, But ChatGPT co-creator Xingla Zhao did join Meta's superintelligence team. Chen said that Meta tried to recruit half of his direct reports. Ain't that something? God dang. You talking about $100 million signing bonuses? Getting all kinds of money. Let me show you something that proves how desperate companies are for AI talent. For the first time ever, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft are the top 4 recipients of approved H-1B visa petitions. That's foreign workers coming to America for tech jobs. Amazon, 4,644 approvals. Meta, 1,555. Microsoft, 1,394. Google, 1,050. And this is tied to $380 billion in AI spending planned for 2025. Meanwhile, the top 7 Indian IT firms only secured 4,573 approvals. That's a 70% decline from the fiscal year 2015. So here's what you need to understand here. This isn't irony. This is proof of where the value is. Smith says boring work, automated. And it's just the beginning. Small businesses, they lost 20,000 jobs in a month. But companies are paying $100 million for AI talent and hand delivering soup. Want some soup, Big Suggs? Want some soup, Cam? Giving $173,000 cars. There is a divide that's happening. And here's the thing. With this information, you get to choose which side that you're going to be on. Type side 1 if you're going to be on the automation side and get automated. Type side 2 if you are positioning yourself for being an AI talent. Type it in the chat. But I'm about to show you the companies and people who are on side 2 and what they're doing and what you can learn from them. Before we get there, okay? If you want deeper insights to this stuff, check out the Patreon. We have Saturday community calls. You get direct access to me in those calls. Every Saturday, we go deep on topics that we choose to discuss. We discuss what's working. We discuss what's not. We discuss who's hiring. We discuss where to look. We talk about exactly how to position yourself on the side of this divide. If you're serious about positioning yourself, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Black Heights. Link into the description. Okay. Let's keep going here. In this next segment, I want to show you guys something. I'm going to show you the companies and the people who are winning right now and what you can learn from them. Let me tell you about a company called ThreatLocker. What does it sound like? ThreatLocker sounds like some sort of IT firm, right? Many of you guys would probably say cybersecurity. ThreatLocker? Well, if you guess cybersecurity, you're absolutely right, because they are a cybersecurity firm based in Orlando, Florida. They have about 700 employees. So according to the numbers that we looked at, they are considered a large employee, or a large employer, excuse me. They have offices in Dublin, Dubai, and Australia. And every year at their holiday party, they give away 2 luxury cars to their most helpful employees. I want you guys to type cars in the chat. And not just any cars. Not just any cars, okay? Last year, they gave away a Porsche Panamera worth $125,000. This year, one of the cars that they're giving away is worth $173,000. But here's what's interesting about how they choose to do this. They don't give the car to the top performer. They give it to the most helpful employee. So every month, employees vote for the two most helpful coworkers, one in the US and one international. At the end of the year, the votes are combined with performance ratings, and two people get cars. I want you guys to type helpful if you see what they are rewarding. Type helpful in the chat. Danny Jenkins, the CEO, said this. They used to only reward top performers, but it created a dog-eat-dog work environment. In cybersecurity, teamwork is crucial to the company's success. So they operate 24 hours a day with an average pickup time of 23 seconds for any customer support issue. You can't do that without teamwork. So they reward helpfulness. And they've never done layoffs. They're currently hiring 40 to 50 people a month. I want you guys to type no layoffs in the chat if that's a company that you want to work for. Type it in the chat. I want to share something else with you. Let me tell you about IBM. IBM is using AI to help employees, not to replace them. They built an AI system that analyzes employee digital footprints within the company. It identifies their skills, predicts their skill proficiency levels, and then offers personalized educational opportunities and career coaches. The AI helps employees identify job opportunities and new career paths. In 2024, IBM reported that this approach boosted employee engagement by 20%. This is proof that AI can be used for empowerment, not just for replacement. Companies choosing to invest in workers are seeing better retention, better engagement, better results. Let me tell you about John Morgan. John Morgan is a billionaire worth $1.5 billion. Looks like he's rich, right? Look at that picture. He looks like a man that's rich. Get on a private jet. It looks like he's full of money. Look at him, man. He got a nice little green tie on. You got a green tie, you know you're worth money. You know you're worth money when you got a green tie on like that. Well, he founded Morgan & Morgan, one of the nation's largest personal injury law firms. Many of you guys have seen the billboards or either the commercials. Offices in all 50 U.S. states. But here's what's interesting. His first job out of law school paid $10,000 base salary. $10,000. Imagine that. Plus, it paid him 10% of whatever he would close. So his first year, he made $15,000. I want you guys to type 15K if that's absolutely nothing. Type 15K in the chat. But he said he has 5 mindsets that got him from 15,000 to 1.5 billion. Number 1, he says, embrace imposter syndrome. He said this, I don't know how this happened, and I'm going to be found out one day. But he sees this as a strength. It keeps him hungry. It keeps him paranoid. Only the paranoid survive. This is what a billionaire says. He feels like he's going to be found out. But he sees it as a strength. He sees it keeps him hungry. It keeps him paranoid. You know when you got imposter syndrome? Maybe it's starting a new job or you're going into a meeting and you have never done it before and you just feel a certain way. He says use that as a strength. Use that as a strength to conduct research. Use that as a strength to that paranoia to do something about it, to take action. It's number 2. See luck everywhere. He says, life is 1,000 left turns and 1,000 right turns, 1,000 U-turns. One different turn could have changed everything for him. He said, the more lottery balls you have in play, the more chance that you have to win. So he said yes to everything. That's what he said. Number 3, be a professional. Nobody can fire you. Okay? Be a professional and nobody can fire you. He said his dad got fired from every job. And his dad told him, whatever you do, be a professional. Nobody can fire you. And that is why he started his own firm. I want you guys to type professional if you want that freedom. Type professional in the chat. His dad told him. His dad got fired from every single job. He said, be a professional. To him, that meant starting his own business so that nobody can fire him. Taking in control of his own life and his own career. Number 4, he says, delegate everything. Most importantly, the thing that I learned was to scale and delegate. And once you learn to scale and delegate, then you get what you can't buy, which is time. Number 5, he says, fear and avoid debt. Morgan said, I am scared to death of debt. I have at this time 0 debt, 0 personal guarantees on anything. I want you guys to type 0 debt in the chat if that's your goal. Here's a pattern. Threat Locker rewards teamwork, never does layoffs, hiring 40 to 50 people a month. IBM uses AI to help workers, 20% engagement boost they said they had. John Morgan, he embraces imposter syndrome. He sees luck everywhere. He stays paranoid. These are the people in companies on side 2 of the divide. I want you guys to type side 2 if you want to be on that side. Okay? Type side 2 in the chat. Now, real quick, before we get to your actions, if you want all of this research delivered to your inbox every single Monday through Friday, sign up for the newsletter, link into the description of this video. Okay? Sign up for the newsletter. We have over 900 people getting this email, our newsletter, every single day with a 42% open rate. That means people actually read it. Today's show, the 72,000 swing, the small businesses bloodbath, Smith under fired, the soup war, the threat locker, IBM, John Morgan, all of it. Full recap in your inbox this afternoon, 11:30 a.m. Central, this morning, actually, Monday through Friday. Link in the description. Sign up for the newsletter. And by the way, I got a message from one of the newsletter subscribers on yesterday, and they sent something on my email, or sorry, my YouTube page. It said, Antoine, include the links of the certifications in your newsletter. I include some of them, but not all of them are there apparently. So I'm going to make sure that they're all there. All right. Let me show you your positioning moves next. Okay. Here's your positioning moves. Five deadlines this week, this month. Okay. Eric Smith says boring work, automation is just at the beginning. I can tell you like this. I work in AI. He ain't lying. Okay. He's not lying. Small businesses, they lost 120,000 jobs in November. It's the start to fire market, and it has begun. But companies are paying $100 million for people with AI talent. The divide is real. Okay. These 5 deadlines position you on the right side. Deadline number 1, which is tomorrow, December the 5th. New Face of Tech Scholarship. 50 scholarships of $1,500 each. Application deadline tomorrow. Winners announced January the 15th. Okay? That's 24 hours. Deadline number 2, December the 9th, 5 days. Santander plus Coursera. 50,000 free places. 1 year access to 80 plus courses. Leadership, innovation, data analysis, marketing, AI languages. No university degree required. Not required to be a Santander customer. Certification for each completed course. Sign up. It's free. That's how you get access to Coursera. All right. Deadline number 3, December the 15th, 11 days from now. Microsoft Ignite Challenge. Complete any Ignite Challenge December the 5th. Enter for 50% off certification vouchers, 5,000 winners total, 9 hands-on learning tracks, AI, data, security, infrastructure. It's all there. Deadline number 4, December the 31st. Salesforce AI certifications. Free AI associate certification, normally $200 plus. Free AI specialist certification, first attempt free for all candidates. Valid through December the 31st. Salesforce projects 11 million new AI skilled jobs from 2022 to 2028. And not only that, they actually beat earnings this week. So they're doing pretty decent. Selling their AI. Deadline number 5. AWS 25% off on all AWS certification exams, plus free retake if you don't pass first attempt. First attempt deadline February 15th, 2026. Free retake deadline March 31st. All certification levels. Type AWS in the chat if you're going after AWS. Either way, whatever you choose, pick one. Start today. Smith says the divide is real and it is growing. The question is, which side will you be on? Type side 2 if you're positioning yourself for value. Type it in the chat. Let me bring this home, okay? This is Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. Yesterday at 8:15 a.m. while we were on this show, the ADP report dropped a bomb. It expected plus 40,000 jobs. Plus 40,000 jobs. It got minus 32,000. 72,000 swing. Small businesses lost 120,000 jobs in November. It's the start to fire market, and that has begun. Ain't that something? Monday at Harvard, ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he said AI is underhyped, not over. He says boring work, things like billing, things like accounting, things like back office work, automation is just at the beginning. He said this, 55 years of programming that he had, gone in minutes when he saw that Google Gemini can build a program from start to finish without you even having to know how to code. And I know because I built a app using it. Mark Zuckerberg, hand delivering soup, giving people $100 million bonus to sign on with his company. You got H1 visa wars for AI talent. All top companies seeking visas for AI talent out of India. Threat Locker. $173,000 cars they're giving away. No layoffs. They are hiring 40 to 50 people a month. IBM, 20% engagement boost by helping their employees learn AI and use AI to help develop in their career. You got John Morgan. This man is worth $1.5 billion. He started making $10K a year plus whatever he would close. Okay? He said only the paranoid survive. The divide is real. You guys got 5 deadlines. Tomorrow, scholarship, 5 days, Coursera, 11 days, Microsoft, December the 31st, Salesforce, February, AWS. Pick one, start today. And by the way, if you're getting value from this show, make sure you hit the like button. There's 109 people left in this chat right now. Make sure each one of you hit the like button. Do it right now. Not only that, if you are watching this channel, and I know many of you are watching this channel right now and you're not subscribed, because I get the data on it and I read the data. All right. If you are new, you're coming back and you're consistently liking what you're hearing and you're getting value from this show, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so yet, turn on notifications. We go live every single weekday, 7 a.m. Central. Okay. Some people like to call me the Bloomberg for careers or the CNBC for the careers. I don't care what you call me. It's called the Daily Climb. That's what I call the show. All right. Check out the Patreon. Link in the description of this. Check out the newsletter. Get a full recap of the show in your inbox. Monday through Friday. Links are in the description. Guys, this is the Daily Climb. Keep climbing. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central. The question is, which side of the divide will you be on? Okay. That's the question I got for you guys. Get to see you, Life I Can. Get to see you, Wayne U. Get to see you, Topaz. Get to see you, Big Suggs. Get to see you, G1 Ryu. Get to see you, Jason. MM Services 7084. Get to see you as well. Heaven for Now 26. Good to see you. Mr. Governor. Good to see you, my man. EGT Network. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Go out there and crush your Thursday. We will see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Take care now. Bye-bye.